Alright guys, check this thing out. I definitely wasn't planning on this, but when you're on Craigslist and you see something like this for $100, it's really hard to pass it up. I literally know nothing about this go-kart. I don't know who manufactures it, what year it is, nothing. Basically all I know is what you see before you. So the story behind this thing is the guy that actually owned it bought it probably a year ago for a project for him and his kids to restore and put back together and ride around the yard. And as it turned out, his kids had no interest in mechanical things or go-karts or getting their hands dirty for that matter, so a year later he decided to sell it. Now it's in my possession. She is definitely not without her problems. It's in rough shape, but it's not in terrible shape. It's got a genuine Honda 160cc engine. I think it's the 5.5. It looks mostly complete. If you turn it over with your hand, there is compression. It looks like the spark plug boot has been somewhat destroyed. As you can see, the coil winding out of the inside is like gone. I don't know why. Down here on the carburetor of the motor, you can see somebody, I think at some point, had attempted to clean the carburetor to make it run and busted the casting off for the float bowl attachment screw. So the carburetor is no good. Besides that, the exhaust, I don't know what's going on here. Kind of a hole in it right there, so it's going to need a new muffler as well. It does have a clutch attached to it. I'm not sure if the clutch works or not. Does have a jack shaft as well. The whole thing looks relatively professional built. This doesn't look like a backyard mechanic threw this together. You can see the small 5/8 jack shaft, lock rings. I haven't counted the sprockets yet, so I have no idea what the reduction ratio is. Surprisingly, all the axle bearings and jack shaft bearings still feel like they're in really good condition. The rear tires look like Sears lawnmower tires, except they have a 4-lug pattern in the back. They're 18 by 8.5, I think 8-inch rim on the back. The front wheels are, I think they're just a standard go-kart tire and wheel. I'll probably put new tires on, maybe keep the wheels, because I believe those wheels are probably original to this particular kart. The brakes are, they actually look pretty good. Whether or not they work, I don't know, but the linkages are it's a pretty rugged little setup. It's a single bar, pull style brake system. Comes back here to like a brake lever jack shaft. That shaft comes over here to the other side of the go-kart. As you can see, I pull the brake linkages. It looks like it has a drum brake setup. I'm not familiar with this setup at all, so I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it this way or maybe I'll swap it out to a disc. I haven't really figured that out. The bearings look like super heavy duty bearings. They're the flat faced pillow block bearings. Way more rugged than your standard go-kart axle bearing. Check out these return springs though. This is the throttle return spring. It's like 2 feet long, stretches all the way back to a hole drilled in the hand throttle. This is the brake return spring. That's about 1 foot long, and it's just attached to somewhere on the frame. Over here on what would be the left side of the go-kart, you can see the weld has broken, part of the frame, and somebody at some point tried to re-weld it with these big ass booger welds. Those things just look terrible. So I'll probably grind this down and maybe sleeve this pipe and reattach it. I'll probably do the same thing here on the other side. Even though it's still attached, those welds don't look very good. There's a few tiny rust holes here on the front of the floor pan. The steering does still work. It's all metal steering wheel. Extremely high ratio steering. It's kind of scary how touchy this thing's probably going to be. And I'm obviously going to buy all new tie rods, as these ones are the old ball joint style, and I do not like these. They're bent anyways. If you look straight down on this front axle, you can see that this part over here, right there, it's actually bent backwards. Like this go-kart at some point hit a rock or a tree and bent the whole axle back, whereas the one on the left side is totally straight. So that will need to get straightened and reinforced. And the seat. This is one of those marine cushions, like a flotation device. I actually haven't even pulled that out yet, so it's first for you and me. A little rusty under here. The sheet metal has definitely seen better days. I might cut that out of there and put some expanded steel mesh in there, or maybe even another piece of sheet metal. Not really sure. Oh, and this thing, I'm pretty sure that's the kill switch. Again, not 100% sure, but if I had to guess, that's what I would guess it is. So all in all, not really a bad cart for $100. If I can get this thing running, which I'm pretty confident I can, then I mean, that's a no-brainer. $100. It's got 4 wheels and an engine, sprockets, you know, chains, everything's hooked up, brakes seem to work. I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna see some videos on this thing coming up real soon. Don't get discouraged though, I am still working on other projects. This is just something for the wife and the kids and, you know, visitors to run around the track on for fun. Like I said, $100, I couldn't pass it up. But there you go, boys. The deals are out there. Keep your eyes open and you will find something awesome just like this. That's it for this video. Comment below, let me know what you think, or give me some insight as to what the hell this thing is if you have a clue. But other than that, keep an eye out for more videos of this little go-kart deal, and I will see you next time. And just because I know there's a lot of people really excited about the Redneck side-by-side build and wanting an update, I haven't really done anything to it yet. The reason being, I think this build is going to be a little bit more involved than I initially thought. Initially I was just going to throw a 6-horse motor on there with a clutch and a jack shaft and just let her ride. But now I'm thinking more power than that, maybe a better chassis system on the back. I don't know, there's some more things I want to figure out, so I got to take my time with this build. So it's probably going to become a winter project. I know that's going to discourage a lot of you, but trust me, my winter projects usually tend to be on the crazy side. So yeah, this thing will get the time and effort it actually deserves.